and this is going to be called Witchwood. That's the working title right now. I really do think I'm going to change it, but for right now, the project is called Witchwood. It's about a witch, and so I don't really have much to go on for this game in terms of like illustration and stuff like that. So that's why I'm making this whole like kit thing, so I have a better sense of direction for what I want to do going forward, because I feel like the art is going to be the hardest part of making the game, because you have to make it like visually interesting. And part of me is like, that's just going to be so many things that I have to create. I don't know if I'm going to hand draw or if I'm going to be like turning, like, what's the thing where you like take a picture and then you like trace over it and then draw different elements. I don't remember what that's called. It's probably just called tracing, but I have to decide how I'm going to be doing those things. I think last night I was looking at a bunch of stuff on Pinterest too, that were like inspiring me on like how I want the thing to look. So I'm going to be transferring those over to this board as well. But now that I have it pulled up, this is my main character. So I honestly just drew this. Oof. I drew this as a one-off, like as a regular like character or like regular drawing, really. I didn't think I was going to be turning her into a whole character. I was just practicing a new art style, but the writer, like if I stare at something for too long, my writer brain just turns on and it's like, yeah, but this could be a story though. So now I want to turn it into a story, which I guess I'm going to have to learn how to do digital art. It'll look a lot better. But for right now, that's my main character. Her name is Blaze now. I didn't even give her a name at first. I just drew it. But yeah, so I need to go to Pinterest and I need to find all the things I was looking at last night and transfer them over for this. So I have like 38 pins, and this is going to be like a multiple section type of thing instead of the mood board that I was doing last time, because I'm going to need to reference multiple things while I'm working on this. So first I'm going to pick out a text or like a type font, I guess, that I like for the game. I want it to look cute, but like a little, like with a little oomph to it. I like this one actually. I don't like the bend that it has. How do I remove that again? Yeah, remove that. So what is this? Distillery Strong? Okay. So wood. That's what I'm going with for right now. And we're just going to put that right next to my main character. Okay, that's cute. For the background color, I think I'm also going to do like gray because it fits, or maybe I should do brown. I don't know. I think I'm going to stick with brown because it's going to be a lot of purple themes in the game and I don't want it to be like too desaturated. So yeah, I'm going to go with brown. I don't know why it came out looking so brown, because the original photo that I drew, sorry, I had to reach around to find my sketchbook because it's right here, the original, and I'm fairly certain I colored it in with gray because I wasn't thinking too much about it the first time, but it came out brown when I put it through like photo editing and stuff like that. So I guess this is it. It looks gray, but brown is fine as well. Okay, so that's that. I feel like I need to reference another like branding kit that I've done before, because I kind of have no idea what I'm doing with this specific one. When I start a new thing, it's always just a bit more daunting because I'm going on basically just a couple of inspiration images and a name. So yeah, that's good. So I'm gonna make this one the character description, like this first page. We're gonna move on to the second page because it'll be a bit easier to move that way. So for the second page, let me change the title, and I want this to be, well, second to character design is setting. So I'm gonna do setting inspo. Yeah, and now I'm gonna start robbing Pinterest. Okay, don't mind me too much. I'm not copying any of these images, but these are the images that I kind of want it to look like, especially with color scheme and stuff like that. So I do kind of just like take it and I take the colors from the photos and stuff, but nothing else. I don't take designs. I basically just use it as a reference. I don't know. Some people are iffy about that. I don't know. It makes the process faster, if anything. So what I'm going to do for setting is I'm going to do setting like her home. So when I say setting, let me see. There are two major settings in the game that I've thought of so far, and that is her home, the shop that she works in, and the town that she lives in. So I'm going to do home first, home inspo instead. And then we're going to add another page, and it's going to be shop inspo. And then town. Okay, so I was lying. I do have a couple things thought out. She's definitely going to be living in like a seaside town type of thing. Oh yeah, clothing. Clothing will be last, but I'll put it on there for right now. I don't even know if I'm going to finish this today, but this is just to start the process because I've been putting this off. I wanted to have it done, like the base planning of the whole game done by the end of July. It's the 29th. That's not going to happen. I need to be more realistic when I set my goals. That's my own fault, but it's not going to happen. So I got to figure out how to speed up the process for myself, basically. So the home inspiration photos are kind of mild. Like I didn't want to do too much. I just kind of wanted to have like a cozy house type of vibe. And, you know, she's going to be surrounded by books because she's a witch and witches like books, but then also like cozy little nooks around the house. So I have a loft bed, so I think it's very, very cozy. And I feel like these like, I think they're like Chinese dorm designs. Like the way they set them up looks so cute and comfortable that I feel like it's perfect for the game. Like something like this would be perfect for the game setting. I feel like I made these ratios too big. I'm not going to be putting too much. So I guess I'll put like descriptions on the side of each image and stuff. And I'll only put like 4 on the page for right now. So yeah, she would have books. She would have a cute bedroom. She would have candles because she works in a candle shop. But this is more shop inspiration. So I think something like this would actually be pretty cool to show. Like a spice cabinet, but for candles. And then like, I guess this greenhouse thing would be kind of cool. I don't know. Maybe. Let's put this here to the side. Save that to there. And yeah. Okay, that's cute. That's cute. So that's all that I'm going to put for home inspiration. I'm going to do the descriptions a little bit later. I'm just trying to get everything on the page before I forget what I was thinking about. I feel like I already lost some trains of thought, but that's okay. We're just going to work through that. So that's a shop inspiration picture. This one is also, is this AI? I'm not gonna lie, I did not look too closely at these when I was saving them last night. So yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that one. Looking at these very closely. I'd go with this one, I guess. All right, I'm gonna go with this one. We'll take the chance. It's not like I'm actually taking it. I just need like the colors. So this is going to be like the candle shop setup on the inside, like with a counter. And then this will be like the outside type of vibe, like a display window, a cute sign and things like that. Let me go back. So yeah, while I'm looking for it, I guess I'll explain a bit more about the game. I don't really know. I know the mechanics of how I want the game to be. So it's not going to be like a super, like playable experience where you have an avatar, you can move it around. It's going to be like a choice-based game. So I'm trying to make it as simple as possible for myself because I am one person. I'm trying to develop a game and I do have a good bit of the choices mapped out, not necessarily the story that correlates with the choices, but the choices themselves that you can make in the game. And I just want to say, like, when you have a choice-based game, so you have like branching narratives and stuff like that, the sheer amount of choices that you can get from having like 4 different routes is horrifying. I created 2 different Excel sheets to try and keep track of them, and I'm still trying to like finish all the different tracks before I start creating the story around it, like baking in the elements and stuff. So yeah, it's going okay, but it's a little daunting. So I was looking for shop interiors, exteriors, and color schemes. I don't think I have anything saved here that matches that, so I'm going to be like looking for that, but yeah. This is a bookshop, but honestly, I should base it off of a bookshop anyway. You just line that up there. Perfect. And I just need like 1 more image. I'm gonna do like 4 per page to like inspire myself. So 2 interiors, 2 exteriors. So we can have like multiple shots and stuff. Cause like I said, it's gonna be like a still frame game where you like click through the options and stuff. So to make it visually interesting, I'm trying to focus a lot on the backgrounds and the character design because unlike an 8-bit game that's easier to make like avatar sprites and stuff like that, like move around. But like, okay, let me get my thoughts together. In an 8-bit game, when you create a mobile avatar, you focus less on the art style to make it simpler on yourself as a creator, but then also to make it like flow a bit more seamlessly throughout like the gameplay and stuff like that. But it's a still frame, but I'm making a still frame game. So that means that I can focus a lot more on detail and backgrounds and stuff like that because it's all that you're going to be seeing instead of being mobile. So I want to give people something cute to look at instead, because if I try and figure out the coding of moving around an avatar, this game will never be done. Ooh, a sign. I like this sign. The Magic Pudding Cafe, that's so cute. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna use something like this for the sign in the game, for the shop. Yeah. Okay, that's cute. We're gonna move on to town inspiration, because this is the one that was really driving me. Like, I don't know, I do know what it is about a seaside town, okay? I'm always thinking about small towns on the seashore. I'm from New York, my family's from the Caribbean, I am always thinking about being right next to the water. So, like, when I make a game or write a book or a story, it's literally always going to be by the water. Like, I can't imagine living inland. If there's no flood risk in the neighborhood, I don't want it. So for the town board, or like the town portion of this, there are going to be a lot more inspiration photos, simply because that's like the majority of the pins that I saved last night when I was looking through it. Beautiful sunset, things like that. It's a need. So there was one specific picture that I saw that I really wanted to help influence like the perspective of how I draw like the overview of the town, because it had like a boardwalk right next to the ocean, which is what I was envisioning, and I didn't really know how to draw it. And the photo was basically perfect. I want something like this in the game. Is this AI? Oh yes. So yeah, something like this. for like when we do like overhead shots, this perspective is going to be very helpful for me. And then this one will be like for walking through the town. Okay. Excuse me. As far as the town color scheme goes, though, I haven't really thought much about it. I know it's going to be a lot of brown, because it's kind of like a low-tech world that they're living in. So I figured brown is the color that you would go with in that case, right? Like, keep it simple. A lot of my art recently has had like a lot of brown, so I am kind of getting bored of the color, but it's so versatile. Like, there's always a shade of brown that works for you. Oh, right. So I wanted like some type of sea train that brings you into the town as well. So that's why I saved this last night as like an inspiration. I feel like the train that I draw would look a lot different from this, but this is the one that I want to do for right now. Okay, and then literally like 2 more pictures, maybe 3, to make it even. This is something that I wanted. Like, I love the cover sign of the store, because I feel like it's going to be a mini town, so there are going to be like a lot of different general stores and stuff like that you'll get to explore. So I wanted to have like funny shop names and stuff like that. So this one reminded me of that. So I'll put that there. That's town inspiration. Is there anything else that's very, very pressing? Yeah, not really. I kind of had an idea about like visiting ruins in the game, but first of all, this is AI modified, so. And you know, I'm fairly certain I have my settings set to not see anything that has AI, but how do I refine your recommendations? AI content. I'm fairly certain I had all of these turned off, but we're just going to turn those all off right now, because that's really irritating me. Okay, I was looking at it last night on my phone. My phone is not as clear as my laptop, apparently. So, yeah. I'll put that with shop inspo. I'm going to put it up here. Just make it a bit smaller. Like that. Okay. Yeah, so I can fit quite a few things on each of these. That's why I gave it such weird dimensions. So it's like a bit longer than a regular piece of paper. So I won't be able to print this out, but that's fine, because I want to be able to zoom in on all the pictures and have them retain all the detail. So printing it out would kind of defeat the purpose of that. So I'm going to be saving all of it as like a PDF or something to my Google Drive, so I can have it on all my devices. I can constantly look at it and make sure it is fitting in with the vision. I got the first page. Second page is the home inspiration. The shop itself. Did I mention that she works in a candle shop? I don't know if I did, but I'm mentioning that now. And the town itself, and then clothing. One thing I'm really not great with is styling for a world. So I figured I would just have everybody like kind of wear robes and stuff, because it feels a lot easier. So I'm going to be like taking variations on robes. This is so cute. This is adorable. This is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. No, I love this. I love that. This is the second video that my mouse has died in, and you know what? I don't appreciate it. But to be fair, I work on my laptop every day now, and I didn't used to do that, so I guess that's the problem. I'm gonna have to start charging it every night now. What did I just do? Okay, she's cute too, but that is not what I meant to do. Okay, so like, yeah, images like this. Like just a bunch of cute robes. Hello, what am I looking for? Alright, I'll take this one. I really have to learn how to play with like layers and silhouettes, but I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do that and finish this game. So I don't know. I definitely need inspiration for a blue robe, because that's kind of central to her character. If you can see, she has a blue and yellow robe on because she's a witch in training. So the colors are going to mean something. So I want it to be like blue, purple, and I guess red to signify like the levels of what type of witch they are. So I need like, do they have any purple? Any purple designs? Why is everybody using green? Okay, lavender, cutie. Okay, yeah. And these are so cute. These are so cute. These are so cute. These are so cute. I don't know if this is my style though. These are adorable, but I don't think it's the style that I'm going for. I don't want anything too elaborate for the world, if you'd believe it. I kind of want it to be like a very chill culture, I guess. So something like this where it's like, it's stylish, but it's also very functional is more what I'm going for. And then of course this one as well, like the lavender witch, like she has pockets in her cloak. You can't beat that. So yeah, comfort over style, always. And then colors to signify. So the colors on these designs can like be changed. I just kind of want like a reference for what I'm going for. And then lastly, I'm going to do the color palette. Lord, stay with me through this. I hate doing color palettes. Well, I don't hate it. It's a love-hate relationship, really. But if I make a color palette, I always feel like I have to stick to it, and I can't go outside the color palette that I set for myself, and that's not great. So I'm gonna start with maybe 9 colors. I feel like that's best, and then go from there. I don't think the images had enough of the colors that I liked, really and truly, but definitely gonna go with this purple, this light blue. What did I say? The levels of which are blue, purple, and red. Do they have any cute reds? It's very hard to find a good red these days. I'm gonna start with brown. I'm just gonna like change it up, I guess. Yeah, that works. I want like more desaturated colors. This one is a bit too bright. I'm gonna change it as well. That's it. So these top colors are my witch colors. They're not in the proper order, but I put the colors how I feel too, so I'm not gonna change it. And then we're gonna do setting colors next. So a lot of brown for this one. You know, I think I get the cherry brown, like the desire to put brown as like the background for everything, from the fact that like my mom and my aunties always had like brown regal furniture. So like, damn it, I'm gonna find a picture of what I'm talking about, because let me see. Fancy brown furniture. Let me show you what a Caribbean house looks like. Lord. I should have just typed in Caribbean house. But this is, oh shoot, it took me somewhere. Don't take me anywhere, please. Okay, something like this is something that you would regularly find in a Caribbean household. Like brown, cherry wood, overly regal furniture. Things like this. Maybe not with all the designs on this one, but yeah. So I feel like in my head, for whatever reason, houses and like backgrounds and stuff like that always have to be brown. I'm gonna work on that. But for right now, I'm gonna leave it the way it is, because this is also a game about family. The witch ain't from the Caribbean. Don't worry about that. But it's a game about family, and I feel like family is old, timely, dated furniture. That's reliable, but you know, a little ugly. Just a little bit. Now I'm looking at these because I'm like, these all look like something that I would see. Like, I could go downstairs and find a piece of furniture that looks just like these. Well, maybe not this one, but definitely like these cuter ones. I don't know. I'm going. Let me find a nice deep cherry brown. Maybe. We can make this richer. I want to be able to taste this shade of brown, okay? It needs to feel like a hot fudge sundae. And it's not doing that right now. Whatever. So for the town, there's also going to be a lot of blue and a lot of white. Or beige, I should say. Not quite my blue. Yes. And then beige. Any shade of beige will do, to be honest. And then clothing. No, I did clothing already. This is going to be home and... Wait. I was doing home, not town. I did that in the totally wrong order. Hang on. I gotta fix that. So I'm gonna make this one, that one. Bleh. I'm gonna make these ones that shade of brown, and then mustard. I kind of like it though. These are gonna be the town colors, so that's why I'm like trying to. Yes, that's perfect. And then these are gonna be the home colors, so probably a bit more purple or like blue. And then I don't really think these two go together. What else would a girl have in her home? A girl witch. Definitely a lot of beige, but I don't like that. Okay, I kind of like it. 3 different color palettes to go for. Okay, need a line. Alright, let's start working on these now. The time flies like nothing. Okay, so since I am using... Okay, I need one more typeface that I'm going to be using because I can't type with that one. And find one more type of font that I like that'll be for like regular typing and stuff. So I'm gonna do like a handwriting type of look that's easy to read. Like, okay, yes. Okay. So these are my 3 fonts, and I'm gonna move those there, or like here, I guess. We're gonna start the character bio. Should I do a character bio? Like, I don't really know. On a traditional branding kit, you would put like the company values and stuff like that. Places of interest that you can market to, like the audience and stuff like that. So I don't really know how that would translate to a character sheet so much. But yeah. Or maybe I should do story outline. See, that's the one thing I don't know how to do, because this does not translate seamlessly into game design, or this type of planning doesn't translate seamlessly into game design, character planning and stuff like that. So I'm kind of stumped on what to do right now. I have a character sheet that I created because this is mostly based on an assignment that I did for the course that I'm doing. This is not the correct page. Where am I? So I guess I could try and like use that instead. All right, forget everything I just said. We're going to leave this first page alone. We're going to go to home inspo. So let me put little body of text, and I'm going to use this one. And we're going to start typing out what it is that I want from each of these images to carry into the game. So there's going to be a cute library scene, and I want it to be based off this top blue image. Can I type? You know, I cannot type without my typewriter keyboard anymore. And I can't connect it while I'm sitting in this spot, so sometimes there are going to be misspellings. That's all I'm saying. That's the disclaimer, because I'm typing on my laptop keyboard itself, and it bothers my fingers. So yeah, just look out for that. Base it on this. And then there's my thing. Yes. Nope. We're gonna duplicate that. Okay, spice rack for herbs for spells. House for growing herbs for spells. I spelled that wrong. And candle. So that's kind of cute. I'm going to add to this more so later on because it's honestly looking a little plain and like there could be more. And I want it, even though it's a small game, I want it to feel beefy. So I don't want it to be like sparse. So right now this is just like the first draft. Store face example. What is this one supposed to be? Because I already have two really great interiors, so I kind of don't know. Okay, so I guess it would be an example of how to design the store. Like little things you can add to make it feel more... Find the words. I gotta start reading the dictionary. I'm losing my words. Make it feel more expansive. So design elements for the store. Yep, this one is also pretty sparse, but that's fine. Town inspiration. Okay, so this is where it gets a bit more fun, hopefully. Seaside town inspiration. Okay. Store examples to have. Yeah, this one needs more work. We're gonna move on. For this one, I think I did develop a bit more while I was talking. So we're gonna say clothes in simple fashion are popular among all the people of the world. Function over fashion. And then witches distinguish themselves with colors. It should be blue, red, then purple, right? I gotta catch up on JJK. Love this. Gonna add more. I can add more now. And then these are my palettes. So these are gonna be my witch colors. These are gonna be the home colors, home/shop colors, and then these are gonna be the town colors. I'll remember that. And then this is just a spare page that I was using to like grab some things. So I'm gonna delete this whole thing. And let's see. I'm gonna put it in full screen. All right, there's gonna be more to this at a certain point. But right now, this top part, just look at that. It's pretty cute. It's pretty cute, right? And then we go to the next page. We have Blaze's home designs, right? So we have her library, her bedroom, a spice rack, a greenhouse. What more could a growing witch need? And then we go to her shop. Got two ideas for how the candle shop could be laid out. This is the outside. These are types of designs will be in there, like a lot of flowers and more greens and stuff like that. And then this could be an example of what the signage would look like. And we move on. The seaside town, the beautiful town, right? A lot of blue, a lot of sunset. There's a cute boardwalk and transportation for out of the town. And then our fashion. And then these are the colors that I'm trying to stick to. I think we got it. I'm literally so nervous about trying to draw these out, but whatever, this is kind of helpful. I do need to finish this first page or it's not going to be helpful at all, but the rest of it ended up being pretty good. Yeah. I'm going to edit this down to like 10 minutes because, quite frankly, this did not need to take me as long as it did. What did this take me? Like 40 minutes? 55 minutes. Love that for me. Love that. Okay, yeah, that's basically it. Let me see if I can change these colors on here. Ooh, no, do not do that. Bro, no. Okay. I'm gonna leave the colors how they are.